by the dawn's early light. 'Twas so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose red streams bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the sea and the home of love reign?
And it's like that, and away we go in Homestead, Miami. Leclerc with an awful start, he can get swarmed by the front three. As who's that? And he gets hit. He's been hit by someone, I'm not sure who, and he's off and he's spun round. Charles Leclerc from pole has spun round, and it's the worst possible start from the Monegasque here on pole. In his first time in the top 10 ever this season. It's gonna go straight down outside the top 10 in a matter of about 2 or 3 corners. So as we see what happened to Leclerc, there's contact between Ocon and Alonso, and he just go into the back of him. He didn't have a great start to begin with, but that just makes it bad to us with those two, the former teammates from last season in Alpine, coming towards again, and it's made Leclerc's race a misery. Can he catch back up to the field, or has he got damage? And as down into turn 1 goes Sainz there on Perez. They're side by side going through turn 2. Perez keeps the lead. Sainz makes a move, but Perez stays in the front, and it's the Red Bull car that stays in front. And is that Alonso there trying to get in? I think it was, yes. But Perez leads, followed by Sainz and Alonso. And it's Leclerc. An awful start's going to go from bad to worse as he's off. And Charles Leclerc just kisses the barrier. And is he going to keep it going forward? Almost spins. But as he got damage from his contact in turn 2, and as he got more damage there, he stays out. So it looks like he hasn't got damage. But a terrible start from the pole sitter. And is on board with Verstappen here. We've got a great 4-car battle going on in front of us. As Verstappen opens DRS onto the main straight. And are they going to be moved down the inside? No, but as Verstappen gets hit. Verstappen's been hit, I'm not sure who by, but they're both off. And one's into the wall, and there's more contact. And Verstappen into the wall again. And it's a terrible start from Max Verstappen, who's off now, and there's more cars off. 3 cars off into turn 4. Drama here in Miami. And there's more contact into the wall. 2 more off. I think they might have been the 2 that were all off as Leclerc goes past them. And 3 cars that are their days done. With weather forecasted for later on in this race. Are they still in this race, or is that their day done? So on board here with Yuki Tsunoda, and there's just a bit of a train there. There's the Verstappen, and I'm not sure who that was else who's off. Verstappen smacks the wall. And then, there's more off. The one who made contact with Tsunoda into the wall. Not sure who else that is. It's Magnussen, the other car in the wall. They both just go straight into the barrier. Maybe damage, maybe not. But not a great start for these 3 drivers. He's on board with Kevin Magnussen now. And mostly the same as what we saw from Tsunoda. Is that Tsunoda making the move there? I'm not too sure. No, it's not Tsunoda. It might have been Tsunoda making a move actually, I'm not sure. But, the hit from Verstappen into the wall there. Very hard hit, and Magnussen with damage just goes right into the wall. So on board with Piastri here, we've got Hamilton to his right, and then he locks up and smacks into the wall and gets hit by more cars. But I don't think he has damage, and he stays out. Lucky for him. It's on board here with Hamilton, who just avoided Piastri locking up into him. As Hamilton, oh, he goes very deep, and it's the two title rivals from 2 seasons ago who go off. Hamilton and Verstappen, and Lewis Hamilton has really ruined Max Verstappen's race here. Not the first time that's happened. But multiple cars getting involved in that, but the three, Tsunoda, Magnussen and Verstappen, coming off worse. And then on board of Charles Leclerc here, and oh, is that the damage he got from lap 1? And he just can't get off the grass. Such a shame for him. But manages to keep going without damage. And on board with Charles Leclerc here, another replay, and the DRS stays open and he's off the track. Just like he did on lap 1. He's going to keep going. Not sure why, to be honest. If he's got damage, he's got a pit, but Leclerc, the pole sitter, his race can't go any worse. And yet again, another Leclerc on board and a Leclerc lock-up. He stays on the track, stays out of any barriers, but Charles Leclerc, he's definitely got damage, and he's very slidey through that corner as well, you know, so I'm not sure what's happened to him. Obviously damage. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the car, but unfortunately there is something wrong with the car. So Charles Leclerc here going through turn 2, locks up off the track and almost spins around. And I think he's got to pit and retire the car before he gets caught up by the front runners and ultimately ruins one of their races. Charles Leclerc, another replay of Charles Leclerc going into the wall. And Charles Leclerc is a very good driver, but here in Homestead, Miami, he's definitely not showing it. Unfortunately, damage not being able to help him there as Max Verstappen and Yuki Tsunoda get past him. And he's off again, and that's going to let Magnussen past him. Such a shame. And as Charles Leclerc starts lap 8 of this race, there they are, the blue flags out for Sergio Perez, who leads the Miami Grand Prix. Started from second behind this man, but it's not going to be a great race. He's off the track, almost trying to let them by, and he's off the track again, trying to obey these blue flags. He's trying hard not to hold anyone up as well. Such a shame from Leclerc, being lapped 16 cars, sorry, that he'll have to let by in this massive train that just hasn't seemed to have gone away. Just onto the curb there, and off the track almost, very high up, almost onto the banking there. As these last 3 cars lap him, Leclerc goes very wide. Oh, I thought there was going to be contact there as Leclerc goes off the track once more. Charles Leclerc a lap down to 16 cars. To Sergio Perez, dark clouds in the sky there. We're getting news that we have a red flag due to lightning. And I have not seen this before in F1. The skies look sky blue, but we have a red flag here. And that is due to lightning in the area. So no rain at the moment, but could be rain imminent. There's lightning in the Miami area. We don't get this much in F1, but in NASCAR and IndyCar we do get this a lot with lightning delays, and in most American motorsports, to be honest. And we do not want a Pocono incident happening, where we unfortunately lost someone due to lightning. And it's lights out and away they go for the second time here in Homestead, Miami. Great start from Carlos Sainz there, as he's going to try and go round the outside, and he does. There's contact. Perez hits him, and it's more contact with someone else. And a very manic start here in Miami, but Perez down to 4th, not as bad as the last pole sitter was, but more contact between the pole sitter and someone else here in Miami. And Sergio Perez not as bad off as Charles Leclerc. Ocon second, Alonso first, both of them making brilliant starts after contact between the top 2. And Hulkenberg with an absolutely brilliant start from 7th from the grid, is going to go into the puddle, and he's going to act plane off, and Nico Hulkenberg has lost another podium. because of aquaplaning off in the rain. And also off, that's Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll on the Aston Martin, one of the Constructors' Championship fighters, is off and at the back, and I think he's got damage. And let's see what happened to Lance Stroll here. Oh, just gets in the puddle, and this time actually hits the wall, unlike Hulkenberg. So not great for the Aston Martin there. And what I didn't see originally was while Stroll was in the barrier, it's the other Haas of Kevin Magnussen doing the exact same thing, but got a bit more into the puddle, and aquaplanes off. Horrid weather here in Miami. Very unexpected indeed. On board with Sergio Perez here, very slidey. Big moment there from Leclerc as he catches the puddle, I think. Or is he going to catch another puddle? Yes, he does. He's into the wall. Sergio Perez, does he have damage? I don't think so. But he's going to go wide. He spins and he hits Lando Norris. More contact there. And Perez's race goes from bad to worse, starting from pole in this second start after the first red flag. Almost hits, yeah, he does hit Norris again. Perez gets another puddle, another big moment for Sergio Perez. And Norris gets back past him, and so do two others. But not a good start from Perez, who's down to 8th now. And the replay here from Alexander Albon. Oh, and there's two more off the exact same corner. And I'm not sure, there's someone else off as well who hit Albon, I think. Not sure who that was. And that is things you do not want to see here, but there's aquaplanes off and smacks into the back of Albon. I mean, it keeps him out of the wall, but you do not want to see stuff like that happening. And it was Lewis Hamilton, the other car, who'd already had one off today after contact with Max Verstappen, and just kisses the barrier. Unfortunate for Lewis. On board with Logan Sargent here, quite a good battle here. Is he going to make a move? Wide goes Gasly, as Gasly's off the track. Gasly is off the track, and he goes right into Logan Sargent there. Big hit there, as Perez goes through. He gets 2 positions, but Pierre Gasly and Logan Sargent have collided. And who is that? Is that Gasly? Is that still Gasly? And on board with Gasly here, and just goes deep and goes wide. And can't slow the car down, straight into Logan Sargent. And manages to keep the car out of any barrier, but can't keep it out of the advertising board. The Coca-Cola board is getting launched. No, he does actually tap the wall, to be fair. So, must have damage. On board from Sergio Perez here, as you can see, Gasly go a bit wide, and off the track, can't slow it down. You can't actually see, you can see it for most of the time, but not great from Pierre Gasly, of course. Not entirely his fault, couldn't slow the car down, but I think he will have a penalty coming his way. And on board from Valtteri Bottas here, he's going to go dive down the inside on Nico Hulkenberg. Good move is Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's off the track. And is he going to keep back on Creed? No, he's going to spin. He's going to hit Nick de Vries. Both off. And I think, big hit into the wall there from de Vries. And I think they both have damage there. And on board from Hulkenberg here, just gets not really pushed off the track. Kind of a factor of the weather as well. And just T-boned there. You don't want to see that. But manages to continue to the pits and repair the car. And on board from de Vries here, he can see it all really. A good overtake from Bottas, but it just goes wrong by Hulkenberg, and de Vries has nowhere to go really. He gets smacked into the wall, and his race mostly over. On board with Sergio Perez there, we're going to go driver's eye as he goes off the track there, I think. Not sure entirely what happened. Is all that someone going slowly? I think that might be Oscar Piastri. It's one of the McLarens, I think, as Perez gets past him. Perez almost spins. Someone's in the wall there up the top there. I'm not sure who that is. There's 2 cars, some slow cars there. I'm not sure what's happening there. There's a car there. There's a car almost stops and Perez into the wall. Smacks into the wall to Sergio Perez. And that is Sergio Perez out of this race, or is it not? He's continuing. How? I don't know. There's more contact there between someone else. So as we see on board with Norris here, just don't know what happened there, just goes quite slow. And then Gets dive bombed as contact there between Perez, and Perez gets into a puddle on the left. What happens up front? We are able to rewind for you. On board with who is this we are on board with? It is George Russell. Slow-mo replay to get it for you. As whoever's in front of him, Carlos Sainz Jr. into the wall, and then the other slow-moving car is, I think, Esteban Ocon. Yes, and it's Ocon just stops there, and as you can see, Perez lose it and smack into the wall. I'm not sure what was going on there. If there was yellow flags that I didn't know about, or what, but Perez started from first in the second start. Not great to him or the car. This is just after Perez smacked the wall. And what's going to happen? He's just going to go off the track. He's got damage. Yeah, he is off the track and into the wall. And he's going to bring it back to the pits to possibly retire the car. And Sergio Perez, he's got Nick de Vries in front of him, who has T-boned Nico Hulkenberg earlier. As Perez aquaplaned into the wall. Yeah, in the wall. Manages to save it though and managed to keep going without any damage. There's Sargent and Gasly in front. They've already come a cropper once this race, but they stay. Ooh, Sargent. I thought you could have a little look at the exit of the corner. But on board with Sergio Perez here, we can have a great view of this battle. Now, is that Sargent too far back now? It looks like it's that Gasly going slow. Yes, it is. And Sargent sweeps past him. Gasly a bit wide there. We've got a great battle forming here. Perez and De Vries wanting to join in. As Sargent, Gasly, De Vries tries to go around the outside of Gasly. Perez does go around the outside of Gasly. And Gasly uses 4th positions in a couple of corners. On board with Logan Sargent here as he battles with Kevin Magnussen, and Sargent gets ahead of him. And quite a few positions there he's gained in the last couple of corners. It is Magnussen, he goes slightly deep, and Magnussen's going to keep the position as they're side by side, as there's contact there, and Sargent gets pushed wide, and Sargent gets pushed into the puddle, and Sargent gets pushed into the wall. And bad to worse from Sargent, you might have to pit for a second time this race with damage. On board with Guan Yu Zhou here. See what happens. AMR goes very deep. Really? Was that someone sliding off in front of him? I think that was. He's going to go right into the wall. Shame for Joe, he's having a good race so far. And I think Lando Norris as well, off the track. More contact for Joe. It can't go any worse. And Lando Norris was the other car who went off, and let's just see what happens here. He's fine through turn 3, but just slides off the track. Goes right into the wall. Does he kind of wedge it there? He does wedge it a bit between the two barriers. But difficult to a 3-point turn on the wet grass. Manages to... No. Is he going to work out how to get out of the barrier? Revs the engine a bit. And nope, back in the barrier again. Third time the charm. Rev the engine a bit. And nope. But at least it's not in the other barrier. There we go. He gets overtaken from all the people who have already pit. Logan Sargent having to pit twice this race, having a quite good race, but now a lap down to the first 3 cars has been lap there from Carlos Sainz is in the puddle, and please don't. Oh no, Logan Sargent almost goes off. And yeah, he's in the wall. Logan Sargent damaged for the 3rd time this race. And he is now a lap down. Not great for him, unfortunately. Such a shame for the young American. On board with Perez here, trying to get past Lance Stroll. The aquaplanes and almost into the wall, manages to hold it. Is he going to get past Stroll? No, it would have been a great overtake to hold that and get past Lance Stroll, but no. Perez still in P11. So as we go nose cam here for Nico Hulkenberg. as he's closing in on Lance Stroll. Is he going to be able to get past him? No, not here. Oh, that's Sergio Perez! Sergio Perez slides off the track. And he's into the wall. Yes, he is. You can just about see him. And I hope Sergio's okay, because that would have been a monster hit into the wall. And red flags are out. Red flags here in Miami. There we go, driver's eye here for Sergio Perez. See what happened. And what happened? Oh, it's aquaplanes in the puddle and just can't slow the car down. Lucky not to hit Hulkenberg, but big hit into the wall to bring out the red flag. And I think the red flags, mostly because of that crash, but as well, maybe to wait for the weather to clear up. He tries to get out of the wall there. But no, that's going to be Perez out of this race. It'll be the first retirement officially. And it's lights out and away they go for the third time here in Miami. And it's Alonso who gets a reasonably good start there. Oh no, he's going to get... Is he going to... Oh, slide to the contact. I don't think there was. As Alonso keeps the lead. And all off there. I think... Who is that off? That might have been George Russell sliding off. Yeah, a knock-on in second now. And Alonso from Ocon, the two former teammates from last year in the Alpine, are gonna lead 1-2. And nose camper Lewis Hamilton as we go for someone in the middle of the pack. As we see a lot of battles there in front of him. And always that someone saw. No, off Hamilton. Hamilton's off. Hamilton into the wall. And Hamilton, that's his suspension gone. That'll be him out of the race. Hamilton's actually going to continue, to be fair to him. I thought his suspension had gone, but no. As he manages to keep going. As Hamilton's going to pull into the pits to retire from the Miami Grand Prix, being the second official retirement. And we watch another midfield battle going on, and there's a few cars off, and there's a few cars, one car off the track. And there's Alexander Albon, who is off. He was P9, brilliant from the Williams, who started from the last. Such a shame from Alex Albon, who's now going to be back in last very start. Oh, what happened there? I'm not sure what that was about, but Albon, such bad luck, unfortunately, for the Williams driver. So on board with Ocon here, he's caught up quite a bit to his former teammate Fernando Alonso. Not enough gap as Alonso goes off, and there will be enough of a gap for Ocon to dive down the inside on Fernando Alonso and possibly take the lead. No, he doesn't. But Alonso off the track again. Off the track again goes Alonso, and Ocon is going to take the lead as he goes for his first win since the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2021. And earlier on in the lap, this is why we had yellow flags out. Lance Stroll aquaplanes off the track and can't get it slowed down in time. And the wet grass doing no help to his attempt to keep out the tyre barrier. And more contact there from, I believe it is, who was that who made contact with him? It is Pierre Gasly. It's very close to the end of this race now. As Ocon, does he go a bit wide there? I think he might have. Alonso still can win this race. Deep from Ocon there. Alonso, is he going to try and go around the outside? No, he's not. He's going to try and switch back him. Do they? Oh, they make contact. Contact between the top two. Oh, Alonso goes too high to having a chance to go for it. And very close. Ah, red flag. Red flag. Red flag due to lightning in Miami for the second time. We're going to have a lengthy delay here. I reckon we'll just go for it when it's dry. And it's lights out and away they go. Ocon starting from pole. Alonso's going to get past him, is he? Yes, he is. He's already been overtaken by 4 cars there. As how is Ocon going to do? He's down to P6. Awful start from Ocon. Is he going to be able to keep going? Let's see. Ocon there, nah. Terrible start from the Alpine, trying to get his first win of the season. On board here with Yuki Tsunoda, and Piastri's going to go down the inside on Ocon, so is Tsunoda, and Ocon's off the track. And Ocon start, I don't think he can get any worse. Is on board here with Pierre Gasly, as that's Ocon hits Sargent, and there's a dive from Gasly on Perez, and Gasly pushes Ocon off the track. The 2 Alpine teammates coming towards here in Miami. As we go driver's eye here for Esteban Ocon, he's got a few cars in front of him, and he tries to make up what he lost before, starting from pole for this. Oh, he's off the track. Can he be going? No, he's still on the grass. He spins across the track, and oh, yeah, he's hit from someone else in the front left. Oh, and that's Magnusson who slides across the track. I think Albon was the one who hit him, and someone else off the track there. And I think that's 3 more retirements for this race. Is on board here with Magnusson. Oh, he just spins it and then into the back. Magnusson's hit by someone. Albon's off there, and Albon goes into the wall. Another wall Albon goes into, and Albon say goes from bad to worse. And 3 cars out of the race here are Ocon, Magnussen and Albon. And Alonso is facing a lot of pressure here in Miami. We've had 4 starts here, 3 red flags, 2 due to rain, 1 due to a crash. And Fernando Alonso is in cross line to win the Miami Grand Prix and surge himself into title contention. So your results here for the 2023 Miami Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso wins his first race since 2012 in Valencia, with George Russell in second and Carlos Sainz in third. Zhou Guanyu with his second top 5 of the season after winning the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, finished in fourth, with Max Verstappen with his first top 5 of the season in fifth. Oscar Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda and Logan Sargeant all of their first points of the season, with Lando Norris and Nico Hülkenberg finishing off the top 10. Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas and Nick de Vries are the only 3 drivers to finish and not score points, with Esteban Ocon, Kevin Magnussen and Alexander Albon all being classified despite not finishing as they completed 90% of the race, those 3 all being involved in the third to last lap crash. Lance Stroll, Lewis Hamilton both caught up in the during the third race that we had, and Sergio Perez causing the second red flag, which ended up with him DNFing. Charles Leclerc being disqualified for a red flag infringement. So these are your championship standings following the Miami Grand Prix. George Russell remains your championship leader with 72 points, with a big gap behind, with Fernando Alonso after winning the race in second, Carlos Sainz in third in the championship, and Zhou Guanyu in fourth. Pierre Gasly fifth in the championship, with Valtteri Bottas sixth, with a great showing for Alfa Romeo, with both drivers being in the top 6. Max Verstappen does not want to be in 7th place. Esteban Ocon in 8th, Lance Stroll in 9th, and Lewis Hamilton in 10th. Some big names outside of the top 10, Sergio Perez in 13th, and Charles Leclerc in 19th. And your Constructor Championships are as follows. Mercedes lead the championship on 88 points, with 11 points behind being Aston Martin with 77. 72 points in third is Alfa Romeo, with Alpine, Ferrari, Red Bull, Haas, McLaren, AlphaTauri and Williams finishing the results. Thank you for checking out the Miami Grand Prix. The next race will be in Canada in 1 week time, I think.